Welcome back on this Thursday. You've heard his tirades on the Senate floor, but what can be done about all the earmarks in the Senate's budget bill?
Senator John McCAIN joins us live from D.C. Good morning to you, Senator.
Good morning, Gretchen.
So I liked your performance the other day. You had a heck of a lot of fire. And man, you broke out the calculator because you had your math down to a T. Here are your top pork chops for 2010, starting with $165,000 for maple syrup research in Vermont. And the list goes on and on. I know this has been a passion of yours for years.
Yeah, one of my favorites, by the way, and it's in every year, is $300,000 for the Polynesian Voyaging Society in Hawaii. And look, you know, a lot of this is amusing and entertaining. There's 23% unemployment in Yuma, Arizona today. People are hurting. People are hurting badly, and we could be helping people through difficult times instead of spending $1.1 trillion, $8.3 billion in earmarks. $8.3 billion. One of my favorites recently, $1 million for a sewer pipeline in North Pole, Alaska. I'm not population 1,700. $425,000 to restore the Boonville Hardware Building in Boonville, Mississippi. Population 8,000. And there's $1 billion in it to start implementing, guess what? Obamacare.
Yeah. Right, and there's $1 billion in there. There's a lot at stake here in the $1.2 trillion, including the $9 billion in earmarks that you've run down some of it. But, Senator, it's a different time now. The president has been quiet. Do you think he'll use this opportunity to come up and kill this bill?
The president today should say, because we may be taking it up this afternoon or tonight, say, look, I'm going to veto this bill. That could finish it. It'd be over then. Instead, the White House has been totally silent. And this is the same president that campaigned against said he was against earmarks. And by the way, what this is a thumb in the eye to all the Tea Partiers, all the people who voted to stop this spending. And I'm saying to the Tea Partiers this morning, grab your pitchforks. Let's stand up against this. It can be stopped.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, the meter's running, Senator. You know, you're coming up on the drop-dead date where the federal government's going to go out of business, run out of money for a day or two. And the Democrats say, it's those darn Republicans. And when you look at the earmarks in there, it's not just Democrats. There are a bunch of big Republicans with earmarks in this thing.
At least 6.
Well, look, it is a Republican disease as well, and it's got to be stopped. It has got to be stopped. There's 3 kinds of senators here in the Senate: Republican senators, Democrat senators, and appropriators.
Right.
And it has got to be stopped, and now is the time to do it. And if I were one of those 23 Democrat senators that are up next time, I'd be a little nervous about voting for this bill.
Are you in
stop
favor,
it.
Senator? I want to get your thoughts on this. Senator DeMint has said, let's read these bills out loud, and some say, well,
I'll be demanding that the bill be read.
You would agree with Senator DeMint, because some people say that's just a stall tactic and it's politics at its best. But you're saying that this is that important that you would do that.
I will do it. It's 1,900 and some pages long. Of course it should be read. How many senators, we're still thumbing through it trying to find out what's in it. Of course it should be read, and it should be stopped. And we should be allowing amendments to remove a lot of this egregious stuff you've been talking about. But most of all, it is a practice which the American people rejected soundly last November 2nd. Right. It is an insult to the voters of America.
Senator, I have to ask something else. I mean, we have so much to go through, but the START treaty, this deal with the Russians, a lot of people have some questions on it. Some word was that you were starting to be won over by and be in support of it. Is that going to pass? Are you in support?
I don't know if it's going to pass. I think that John Kyle has a very legitimate concern about modernization, but most of all about time of consideration of a very important treaty. I have concerns about the missile defense part of it. I will be proposing several amendments to try to fix that as far as missile defense is concerned. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but we certainly need ample time to debate it.
Right. Also, Senator,
the problem is here we didn't do anything all year long. Never had a vote on a Friday. Friday. We're jamming everything up against Christmas, and they're trying to jam through their agenda. Harry Reid forces votes on the DREAM Act, on all of this litmus test of issues that will help with the Democrats' political base, and it's really a disgraceful performance. No wonder approval rating of Congress is now down to 13%.
Right.
You get down that low, you're down to paid staffers and blood relatives.
No kidding. All right, before you go, the Afghanistan and Pakistan annual review has come out from the White House, and essentially what they say is we're doing better over there. And it looks like we will be able to pull some troops out next year. But Pakistan's really got to help us more. They really don't help us enough.
There's three problems. One is the president keep repeating this 2011 withdrawal date. That discourages our friends and encourages our enemies, and I'm glad to see him emphasizing 2014. I appreciate that. The second is corruption, and corruption is rife, and that has to be addressed. And the third is sanctuary in Pakistan that the Taliban and other al-Qaeda agents are using, and we've got to address that, and we need better cooperation from Pakistan. They have been somewhat helpful, but not nearly enough. You can't win wars when you give the enemy sanctuary.
Senator John McCain, always great to speak with you, and we'll just keep our eyes on Capitol Hill to see what happens in the next couple of days.
Grab the pitchforks and come to Capitol Hill, Tea Partiers.
All right. It looks like you could be celebrating Christmas in Washington, D.C. Yeah. Thanks, Senator McCain.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, guys.
Ho, ho, hold everything. All right.